So many people here in Africa are going into livestock farming. Majority are going into poultry farming. Some others are going into goat farming. But me, I went into rabbit farming. So I'm going to be telling you guys my journey, how I started the rabbit farm, and the benefits that rabbit farming gives that you can't get from other livestock farming. I'm also going to be telling you guys some importance of rabbit farming so that you will think it twice to start rabbit farming. So I've been into rabbit farming for quite some time now, and I'm a bit knowledgeable about rabbit farming. I won't say I'm a professional because no one knows it all, but for quite some time that I've been doing the YouTube videos and I've been teaching a lot of people, educating many people about rabbit farming, and over 10,000 people, as you guys can see, have subscribed to this YouTube channel, meaning they are learning from the channel. So I want to be telling you guys a bit of things about rabbit farming in this particular video, so that for those of you guys that are still thinking of starting, or for those of you guys that have already started, pick one or two things from this video. Go and pick your pen and your paper so that you can be jotting down some few things, because I'm going to be sharing some few secrets about rabbit farming in this video. One thing you need to know is that rabbits do give birth to a lot of babies compared to goats, compared to cows, compared to pigs, that their gestation period have a very long time, like the grass cutters, which is 6 months, and the pigs, which is 4 months, and the goats, which is 5 months. All these animals are livestock animals that a lot of people are going into in Africa. But for the rabbits, their gestation period is just 1 month, meaning if you manage a rabbit very well, a rabbit can give birth 6 times and above in a year. So imagine your rabbit giving birth to 6 times, like giving birth 6 times in a year. Let's take for instance, one rabbit gives birth to an average of 5 kids. 5 times 6, that's about 30 kids in 1 year from one rabbit. But compared to other livestock, like the goats, which can give birth to maybe 1 or 2 babies, or the pigs, which can give birth, although pigs give birth to a lot, rabbits have more advantages when it comes to the litter sizes, because their gestation period is just 1 month. So come on, if you crush a rabbit today, which is the first of a month, before the first of the next month, your rabbit is going to give birth and you're having babies in your farm. So return in investment is very, very fast. If you invest in a rabbit farm, it does not take too long period of time before the returns start coming. So if you're someone looking for a short-term investment plan to do when it comes to livestock farming, you should consider trying out rabbit farming. Yes, rabbit farming is very, very good when it comes to that particular aspect. And when it comes to the feeding aspect too, when it comes to pigs, you see you need to buy their feeds and all. Poultry, you need to buy their feeds, although goats also feed on grasses. But the rabbits, you can say you want to feed them on purely grasses and hay, and you're not going to be buying these grasses because you might be sourcing for them from your forest or from the little bushes close to you, and you might also be making your hay by yourself. So you just go into the bushes, cut some grasses that are being used to make hay, and use them, dry them, and use them for your hay, and you won't be spending much money feeding your rabbit. Although if you are feeding your rabbit on mainly grasses, your rabbit might not be growing too fast. Your rabbit might not be growing really fast compared to people who are feeding them on feeds. Rabbits can also be fed on feeds, but also their feed might not be too expensive compared to the poultry on, because as you guys know, poultry feed is really, really expensive currently now. So that's another thing, another importance that comes with rabbit farming. So another reason as to why you should start a rabbit farm is because when it comes to rabbit farming, you need very little capital to start, compared to pig farming where you need a huge structure, fishery like keeping catfish, where you need to do maybe the fish pond, or you need to do a eating pond with very huge amount of money. The poultry farming where you need a very big structure to put the chickens there, and also goats where you need very big structures. Although you can start all this in a very small scale, but compared to rabbit farming, you need a very minimal space. You need a very small space to actually start. With 4 room cages, you can actually start a rabbit farm and grow. After all, when I started rabbit farming, I started with just 1 female and 1 male. But what I advise you to start with is you can start with 2 females and 1 male rabbit, so that you can grow more faster. Because when I started with 1 female and 1 male rabbit, I experienced a lot of things, which by maybe crossing your females at the same time, by first, maybe if anyone give birth to higher litter, you can foster the kids, like separate the babies of this particular female to these ones. This is some of the reasons why we advise you guys to start with 2 females and 1 male. But when it comes to rabbit farming as a whole, you can start very, very small. I know of a person that even started with just a female rabbit. When once the female rabbit gives birth, he takes it to someone who has a male, and the male is going to cross it, and he takes it back to his farm, and the female gives birth again. He did not have a male at the time. He just started with just 1 female. And guess what? That guy has over 20 something rabbits right now. He bought that 1 mature female from me. Anytime he wants to cross it, he brings it to my farm. And as far as I know, the farm he bought it from, I accepted it and I crossed it, because most times if I don't know where you are getting your rabbit from, I can't just take it to my farm and cross it because of diseases and all. You guys know how this animal disease move. Yeah, but I still collect it and cross it based on it's coming from my farm, and the guy is growing very well. He started with 1 female rabbit. He has over 20 something now. So guess what? You can also start same. It does not matter how small you start. Stop thinking of I'm going to start. There are a lot of people on this channel that have been saying, since I started this my YouTube channel last year around October. It's been about 1 year I started this YouTube channel, or let me just say 1 year plus. There are subscribers I had since then that have been planning to start that have not yet started. Yes, subscribers I had since then that have been planning to start that have not yet started. So it does not matter how well you plan. Someone that has started just by seeing 1 video and the person just started will still grow. Before you finish planning and say you want to start, that person has grown to a very, very far place whereby you can't even meet up with that person because of all your planning, and you might even plan and still start very little, which you would have started since with. So it's better you start now, better you start yesterday than planning to start tomorrow. So I advise farmers that want to start up a rabbit farm to start with grower rabbit. So grower rabbits are from 3 months to 4 months. So if you are starting with this grower rabbit, it helps you to learn with the process, whereby you don't just start getting babies immediately. So if you get a rabbit of like 3 months, you keep them to about 5 to 6 months, then you can breed them, then start having babies. But if you start with the mature ones, you might get babies immediately, but might not know how to take care of them because you are a novice. But if you start with these growers, the growers might help you as you are feeding them. You are learning a lot of things, watching some videos, getting more ideas about the rabbit farming. And before they are going to give birth, by that time you have got more insights and more ideas of how to take care of the babies, so you don't have high mortalities. Because most of the things that discourage people about rabbit farming is people who are having very high mortalities, whereby that baby rabbits do die a lot. When the rabbit give birth, the babies always tend to die, always. So it's better you start with the growers, as I advise, so that before the rabbit gives birth, by that time you have like 3 months again to learn before they get to maturity. So by then you have a lot of ideas about them. So here is the little size of how a grower rabbit looks. So here is how the grower rabbit looks. This is the kind of size of rabbit that you need when you want to start up your rabbit farm. This is the size of rabbit you need to buy. Either you buy a 3-month-old New Zealand white or a chinchilla, because the New Zealand white is mainly for people that want to start up a rabbit farm for meat. Although it's not really advised for people to start with just one particular breed, it's better to get variety. That's what I advise. So if you start with any of these breeds, it will still do very, very well in your farm.